So, it's another night, and I just wanted everyone to just learn about my next project. It is going to be a Wikihow project, creating how to get a DUI article. It's what happens is that mainly is that just by going on YouTube, things like that, you see all these things about how to get out of a DUI, how to avoid getting a DUI in the first place by, like, say, not drinking and driving, and other common sense things. But there's no real reason why you should get a DUI. But it's just overall. It's if you're ever in that situation where you need to get a DUI for some reason. I just want everyone to know that I'm here to help, and I'm just gonna give a couple common sense steps so that way you could get a DUI and just move on with your life. And once you're able to achieve that task, if you need to get that task for some reason, there's a couple of reasons why someone might possibly need to get one. And for that reason, I'm here to help. So as you know, in at least the first part is obviously figuring out why you need to get a DUI. I have a couple of things here. I think maybe probably the most, advantageous thing to do, reason why you would need to get one if you want to start like a Passages Malibu type of place, and you need a backstory like, hey, I'm a recovering addict or alcoholic, and I'm making this $500,000 a month rehab to help you. And you could get customers to give you that $500,000, so that way you can make money and pay off your student loans. And of course, the only other thing I could think of is if you want to split your parents, which of course is another valid option, if you actually have a valid option. So obviously now we're going to continue to the next step. It's just strategies to get the DUI itself. It makes sense to be overtired. It makes sense, not to be dehydrated, things like that. Because even though you're going to be drunk, you need to have all these contributing factors just to make it more likely that, you're going to be swerving, so that way the cop's going to pull you over. It makes sense to hang out by DUI checkpoints. Obviously that's where cops are going to be. And just overall, I just added a third notice, just to make sure you don't, just avoid getting in accidents, things like that. Because instead of, having a DUI, you might have manslaughter or something a little bit more severe. You want to avoid these things if you can, if that makes any sense at all. It makes sense to continue on to the third step. You're able to get the DUI. It's just best that you avoid getting all your hard work, just being brought to naught. It makes sense to represent yourself or use a public defender. If you have a good attorney, if your parents are going to buy like an expensive attorney, it's best to try to do things to make the judge angry with you, like wearing blue jeans, being disrespectful. You just need to be careful, because you don't want like a contempt of court charge. You just want the DUI. So you have to just make sure that the judge dislikes you, but doesn't dislike you too much. You want a DUI, you don't want anything more severe, but you don't want your hard work to come to naught. I have a couple tips here. It just makes sense to get an attorney that seems very busy and is not going to spend that much time on your case. Just the basic things that make sure you don't fall asleep, make sure you don't use mouthwash, take any prescription medications that could convert your breath to alcohol. Make sure, obviously you let the cop know this too. If you have diabetes, also make sure let the cop knows that you've been taking your medications regularly and you're not have high or low blood sugar. And obviously, getting a DUI is a serious crime. I do not condone it. I'm just here to help you if you need any help getting a DUI. Thank you. Have a good day. And just to finish up too, before we leave, actually it's just a little after the fact, you just put your sources and citations here under the Wikihow. It's just pretty easy. You just type everything into the blocks. It's pretty easy to publish a Wikihow. And it's pretty easy, because then you just press that publish button on the final thing, and you get this. Your group article is published. It's done. You could go to the article. It says it's quality review process. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. And it's kind of cool, because you already get like hey, congratulations, you made your first edit on Wikihow. We'll see how this turns out. Thank you.